Hi everyone, I'm Kelsey and welcome to my channel, Connecting with Spirit. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that's really near and dear to my heart, mental health, because I have struggled with my mental health for a very long time. I don't struggle with it anymore, thankfully. But yeah, I do want to talk about mental health and my personal experience and also my thoughts about the system today. So for those of you who don't know, my background is in psychology. I have a master's in mental health and I've worked as an assistant psychologist for a number of years in various different places. So for like addiction rehabilitation or with children and families, these sorts of things. And during my training, I would have learned how to formulate. And this is basically the process of how you diagnose someone based on the criteria as set out in the DSM, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, usually used by mental health practitioners, psychologists, psychiatrists, these sorts of things in order to give someone a diagnosis. So just wanted to make you aware of that going in, that I do have that knowledge and that experience of the criteria and how to diagnose and all that sort of jazz. So for me, during my journey, I suffered with mental health difficulties for a very long time. I've touched on bits and pieces on this channel, particularly with depression. When I was younger in school and in college, I had experienced suicidal ideation, and I did see a doctor and got a diagnosis of depression, was put on antidepressants, and also went to counseling and started mindfulness, all these sorts of things. Thankfully did get better, but then it came back again, and it was during my training, during mental health training actually, that I found out, or it was kind of this catalyst to my awakening journey as well, that I had been lied to, that I had been misled by the medical system, that the antidepressants, the SSRIs, which stands for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, didn't actually do what they said that they would do. So what they say they do is they block certain serotonin, which is kind of like the happy hormone in your brain, and more and more serotonin builds up within your brain so that you feel better, like your mood gets a boost. But like I said, during my training, my mental health training, I found out that this narrative was actually a lie. That the majority of serotonin inhibitors are in fact not in the brain but are in the digestive system, and in fact that they don't actually know what SSRIs do at all, and this has been proven quite recently in a recent study, which I just felt so validated to learn. I think it was this year, maybe last year, that the SSRI narrative is a complete and utter fabrication and lie. So when this truth came to light for me, I felt really disillusioned by the medical system completely. And I decided to take matters into my own hands and try and heal myself. So it wasn't just this isolated experience, there was other experiences that I might go into in other videos to do with my physical health. But basically, yeah, I was disillusioned by mental health system in particular. And even working as an assistant psychologist, I left that job because I didn't feel like I didn't resonate with the diagnoses. I didn't resonate with the CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, that is touted as kind of the gold standard practice, which I feel doesn't even touch, is very surface level and doesn't go deep and getting to the root of actually the main issue. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the diagnoses because as I was going through my healing journey, I with my knowledge of formulation and the criteria and all that sort of stuff, you know, I could have been diagnosed with multiple terms in the DSM. So I did have really bad anxiety. I did discover while working in an addiction rehabilitation center that I probably did have a food addiction, an eating disorder, body dysmorphic disorder, bipolar disorder, I probably would have said, and also possibly ADHD. And at the time, I remember like just thinking, this is not what it is. Like, these are just a collection of symptoms. They're not actually getting to the root cause of what is really happening. It's just kind of like a surface level thing, because as I started to go deeper within myself, healing myself, working with spirit and also energy work, energy healing techniques, I discovered really that I didn't have any of these things, any of these diagnoses. I didn't have depression. I didn't have what you would call anxiety or anything like this. That the root cause of my mental issues, let's say my struggles, my suffering, was repressed trauma, and a number of different traumas. So primarily from being sexually abused as a child, but also from suffering multiple different traumas, and how I did not basically process any of that trauma because I didn't have the skills as a child. And it all had become stuck in my system, and feeling depressed or feeling anxious, having symptoms that looked like ADHD, all this sort of stuff was as a direct result of this unprocessed trauma that I was carrying in my body. And I wanted to make this video today because I just wonder how many people are out there who are similar to me, who have been given a diagnosis and maybe put on medication, and that's not the root of what it is that they have, and are maybe still struggling with mental health difficulties, with emotional issues, whatever the case may be. And I'll give you an example. So as I was doing my healing as well, I did notice, you know, like ADHD sort of symptoms, and but like I was totally over the diagnosis sort of stuff at the minute that I did, but I did kind of, you know, have those doubts where I was like, oh my goodness, do I need to go to the doctor? Do I need to get this checked out? Do I actually have ADHD? And I would kind of go back and forth this sort of stuff, but for the most part, I tuned in to myself, and I actually sat with it and asked myself, you know, is this the case, or, you know, what is going on really? And when I got down to it, all the symptoms that they call ADHD were as a result of me not being fully embodied in my physical body. So my soul, my spirit wasn't fully present in my physical body. It kind of like popped out. I would disassociate a lot. And as a result, I experienced all these symptoms that they usually term as ADHD. That was all due to not feeling safe in my body because of the trauma that I had endured. So I just am putting that out there. Like, do you have ADHD really, or do you have unprocessed trauma? Do you have depression or anxiety or any of these sorts of arbitrary labels, or do you have unprocessed trauma that you have not looked at, and your body is in pain and is screaming at you to have a look and go within and connect in with yourself? Because I think this is a part of the problem of the system, that it is putting power and control and profit over people, and it doesn't necessarily have their best interests at heart. I do believe the mental health system and the medical system is based on dark energy, malevolent intentions. It's not based on health and wellness, and we're going to help people get better. I do believe it takes advantage of vulnerable people. I do believe it exploits people to a huge extent, and that it profits off their ill health, because you're just put on medication for your life, and just constantly feeding the system and giving the system money. And yeah, I basically wanted to shine a light on this today, to bring your awareness to this, and to also make this video in case that you had similar thoughts or were going through something similar and are looking for answers. And I basically wanted to talk about it so you don't feel so alone, because this is the conclusion that I've come to after being in the medical system, after healing myself fully from the unprocessed trauma that I have had. I can thankfully say now that my mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health is way better than what it was, and I have achieved a peace of mind that I didn't think I ever would. And I did all that by going in within myself and connecting with myself, with my heart, with my higher self, and asking my body what was the story, what was going on, what did I need to do, what did I need to look at, and basically empowering and trusting myself instead of giving my power away to someone else and asking someone else to tell me what was wrong with me. And I think that is really dangerous, and that's what the medical system is based on. It's based on asking you to give your power away to someone else, and for them to tell you what's the story, and to give you a solution that is not necessarily has your best interests at heart. So I'm not saying that, you know, all doctors or mental health practitioners do not have your best interests at heart or anything like that. I'm just saying the system is a dark system. That doesn't mean that there are not lights within the system, but primarily the system is built on dark energy and darkness, malevolent intentions. From my own perspective and personal experience, that is how I feel. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video to shine a light on that, and to basically give you an alternative perspective to get you to think, and to urge you to connect in with your body, your heart, your higher self, and to always go there first and ask what's going on with you, because your body, yourself, no one knows you better than you do. And I think it's really important right now in this day and age that we do connect in with ourselves first and foremost, and we take back our power. We don't give our power away to other people who tell us what's better for us, because well, they don't know what's best for us. Really, it's only us that can say what is best for us. But yeah, so this is just shining a light on that, and a call to connect in with yourself, and to tune in and ask yourself first and foremost, what's the problem, and trying to get to the root of the issue from there. So yeah, hope you found this video interesting, informative. Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.